Okay, so now what I'm going to show you is how to use QuickBooks Premier to create a customer invoice. So the first step is to go into QuickBooks, which actually I already have open. So let's go into QuickBooks, and then I'm going to go ahead and delete this transaction so I can kind of go over this fresh with you. Okay, so the first thing that you want to do is you want to create a customer. In order to do that, you go into the Customers tab, which you could find here on the left or here up top. Once you go into the Customers tab, so if you click on this is the screen that's going to appear. You go into New Transaction, or I'm sorry, you go into New Customer and click New Customer. From up here, you can see you've got this all the kind of different options down here. So I would just recommend just kind of doing it from this spot. So new customer. Then within here, you could enter in the customer's first and last name. This will be what appears in the bar on this side. So you want to make sure that it's a unique name that appears up here, or else it'll reject it. It won't allow you to save it. So put in the first name and last name, and that's really all you need to put in to get it going. But there's all this other information you can put in here as well. So and the address details, what I would put is the insurance adjuster that it's being billed to, or whoever it's being billed to. So it's the insurance company, the insurance adjuster. If it's a family member, the family member. If it's the individual, then you put their name in there, and address as well. And then there's one other thing that you'll want to do, which is put the claim number in here. So where it says account number, you put the claim number. And that's so it'll appear on the invoices when you send them out. Okay, so let's just kind of cancel out of there because I've already got one going here under my name. Well, obviously as well as a bunch of other ones. So basically, once you get the customer set up, the next thing you want to do is get the caregivers set up under vendors. So once again, you click on the this left bar here. You can go to vendors, and you would click new vendor. And then it's kind of same thing. So the vendor name here is what's going to appear on the left over here. And the first name, last name, address, you can put all that information in. Key is the first name, last name. Make sure you have a vendor name up here. And then there's a couple other spots that you'll go to in here. You'll want to make sure they're 1099 eligible, tax ID entered in, and then direct deposit. But that's not what this tutorial is about. So you could do that later. So you want to make sure that you get, I'm going to go ahead and delete this as well because this is what I created earlier. Okay, so once you have all the vendors, all the independent contractors that are going to be working on the customer's case entered in, you're going to want to go to lists. And then under lists, you're going to go to item list. So item list is where all the different items that will be entered in and billed for are put in. So you'll see I've got it set up here, attendant care, Bob Mayer, and we got the other attendant care customers in there as well. So these are all set up individually. Okay, so to set them up, you go down here to item, and then new. And in new item, you can enter in all the information. So here, this is where I entered in attendant care, Bob Mayer. And then check this, and you could enter in the description, which will automatically populate this, the cost, the expense account, preferred vendor, sales price, and then the income account. So I'll show you what that looks like under this one. So to kind of view that kind of information, you go to edit item, and you can see I've got attendant care, Bob Mayer, and then I've got the description in here. I don't have any cost in this one because this is the main one where we're gonna all the other sub items are gonna be, and expense account, independent contractor. Don't have any preferred vendor in there right now. Sales price $40 and fee for service income. And then you're gonna want to make one for each independent contractor that's on the case. So you can see on these other ones, there's quite a few independent contractors on it. In this one, I've got just independent contractor from the vendors list. So once again, we can go in and edit this item. Oh, and to do this, so basically to create a sub item, you'll create a new item and then click sub item, and then you'll be able to select what you want it to be a sub item of. So for this one, I selected that, and then you type in the caregiver's name, all the information. You can put in the pay rate for the caregiver right there. That's it. So you can see what it's like on this one. So I put $10 because typically it's $10 to $12 per hour. Independent contractor, preferred vendor, independent contractor, sales price, fee for service income. So everything is all set up on as far as that goes. The next step, once you have all these set up, is to import the employees' hours from T-Sheets. So with T-Sheets, we have a system here that basically everybody is clocking in through and keeping track of their hours. So, I gotta connect to the internet here. Okay. So basically with T-Sheets, in order to sync it, so T-Sheets will automatically sync to the QuickBooks and import the customers or the independent contractors' hours. So you would go to, in QuickBooks, I usually do this. I go to File, and then Sync, and then Start Sync Now. And that will start this sync here. And then through T-Sheets, you go over here to the right, QuickBooks, Export All Approved Time. And that will, if there's approved time, it'll export it. Right now there's no approved time. To get approved time, you go to Approvals Reports, and then you select the date range, and then click Run Report. So these are already approved, so they've already been uploaded. So there's no need for us to do anything there. But yeah, so you'll see the independent contractor and the hours that you'll be exporting into the system. So once that is done, within QuickBooks, that will all appear in the employees' timesheets. So you got employees, which works for the vendors as well, as long as they're checked as 1099 vendors. Use weekly timesheet, and then within this, you'll be able to see the hours that they worked. So I believe I entered in some for this. Yeah, okay. So you can see that it would upload it. You have the customer name right here, the service item, and then the hours that were worked and whether or not it's billable. So they're all going to be billable for the most part, and you want to make sure that that is checked. Okay, so all the independent contractors should be entered in, all their times. So the next step would be to go to vendors, and this is where you would want to enter the independent contractors' bills. So basically you would select that. Oops, no, don't record it. So you would go to new transactions, enter bills, and then select the vendor, and enter time right here. So this will give you the start and end date for the time that you want to enter. So let's do 4:16 to 4:30, even though it's not done. And you'll see that it'll populate all these different items. You don't want to check billable in here as long as it's already checked in the employee one, because this will actually make it appear twice in the customer area. And you don't want that. That'll just confuse things. So let's go ahead and save this. And you would do that for each independent contractor in the case. Then you would go over to the customers, and you can either select the customer right there, or you can automatically populate it in new transactions in the invoice. So once you got the customer selected or not, just go into new transactions, invoices, and the invoice will come up. And then once you're in here, you're going to go to add time and costs. And I've already added the time and costs. So let me go out and redo this real quick because I deleted it. So right now, because I already kind of did this earlier, it already kind of used them, so I got to go make them billable again, which I'll do real quick there. And now in customers, okay, so let's go back to this. So new transactions, invoices, and add time costs. Oh, there we go. Add time costs, and you'll see that they'll appear right here. So we just want to select all and hit OK. So you can see it'll automatically create this invoice with the attendant care, the hours rate, the date service, and the total amount, and then the total amount due on the bill down here. And then the other thing you want to do is go into this drop box right here and select the patient or the client. So select my name, and that'll make sure that it appears on the invoice, the CPT code and all that kind of stuff. So after you get that done, you can attach files if you want, or you could just go ahead and save it. So to save it, I click the print button, and then I go to save it on Adobe PDF. So you just click print, and then you can see I've already saved it here. So you would just save it, in whatever file you want to save it in. And since I already saved it, I'm just going to cancel, and then save and close. So now this bill is ready to be sent out. So whether it's email or fax, you'll just go ahead and or mail. You print it out, use the eFax or the email service, and send it out to the adjuster. And all that information should be either in here or in the eFax software. And that's basically it. Yeah. So if I think of anything else, I'll add to this. But that should be it for now.